Nintendo 64 presents a Playguide and video review. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Welcome to another Lemon C64 Playguide and review. This time we'll be checking out Park Patrol, which was developed by Tony Ngo and distributed by Activision in 1984. On the tape version we get a very nice loading picture, which I think is an update because this was released on budget with a different cover, as you can see, and the original cover is terrific. And this game begins with the Activision logo and Park Patrol and Tony Ngo in 1984. So let's press fire and check out the title screen of this game. By pressing the F5 key on the title screen, we can activate a few options. From here we can check out the first 5 levels of the game. You can see it involves swimmers, snakes, swamps, turtles and ants. And you can see the swamps don't even appear until level 3. And the amount of turtles you can change to your heart's desire, and change from a boy ranger or a girl ranger as well from this screen. Now let's just press F1 and let's just try out a few warm-up goes of this game because I haven't played this in absolutely years. In Park Patrol, we are attacked by a number of turtles, and I could have sworn that when I played this back in the day, you could actually jump on the heads of those turtles, and they would then leap down into the water. I'm pretty sure that that was possible, but I can't seem to make it do that on this try, not that I'm actually managing to hit them on the head in the first place. You can see it's pretty difficult and they will wander into the water anyway, so I don't think I'm having much luck with that tactic. Well, despite my best efforts, it doesn't look like that is possible, and you only get 3 lives in this game, and that's my 3 lives all used up. And maybe if you aren't familiar with this game and don't quite know what to do, well, all you have to do is collect trash. Yes, it's another Trash Man game, only this time we have to collect trash on the water and also on the land. And in this case, on level 1, it is represented by what I like to call Coke cans, even though there is no sponsorship in the game. In order to collect those Coke cans, we need to venture onto water on our life raft. And this little boat, whatever it may be, an inflatable dinghy, is only just about big enough to carry us. And of course, we'll have to take a leap to get in there and to jump out of it again. Just to make life a little bit harder, we also have an energy level you can see is flashing in the bottom left corner, and we are down to 150 calories. That means that we have to make a beeline all the way home again, and that will recharge our energy back up to 1,000 calories, and that means that we can take a break and then venture on towards collecting that trash. In this case, the trash is liberally all around that landscape. All we have to do is to collect that rubbish, and in this case we are stopped from doing that by a help screen, and you can see help in the bottom corner. As soon as we collect someone who's drowning, then that help will disappear. And there is also other things to watch out for in this game, which will be our defeat if we ignore those things, but that's all of the trash on level 1 collected. Level 2, we find snakes in the water, and by throwing a disc into the water we can get rid of them and they will then sink. And as we shall see, everything is more or less lethal in the game, and so it's a chance between getting on that life raft and being attacked by snakes, or getting on land and being attacked by turtles. And don't forget, we only have a few lives in this game. You can see it's now flashing 0, so it means we are down to our last one. Back in the day I could get to level 5 pretty easily, but now I find that my skills have been defeated. And this plant that you can see at the beginning of the level, that's actually a magic plant that will speed up the character, but you need to keep touching that plant every so often in order to make the magic work. You can see waves on the water, and every time that we touch a wave, that will cause damage to our inflatable, and also if we touch a swimmer, or also if we bump a log, or also if we scrape the side of that river. And so this is more than Jungle Hunt, this is more than River Raid, this is a combination of both of them, and so you'll have to watch out for scraping on the sides. And of course, if you touch those logs you could be flung out of that craft, and you can't swim, so unfortunately you'll just have to die. At the moment I'm just charging up my magic plant, whatever magic plant that may be, and you can see turtles will wander blindly into that river periodically. All we have to do is run them over and they will then die. So it's great that we can get rid of these turtles, and if we take our time and lure them into the water, then that means once they're dead, it means we can clear that level. And once they fall into that water for a certain amount of time, if they manage to get out again, they will turn a different colour, and that means they are super quick. So if they fall into the water and you don't collect them, that's another hazard, and so you'll have to worry about swimmers and snakes and turtles falling into that water. You might not notice, but there is actually parallax scrolling in the game. If you notice any trees on the level or plants on the landscape, they'll actually scroll quicker than the trees in the background, and so it's great that the logs and the trees are actually parallax scrolled. Not that most players will have noticed that, and that's just an extra Activision element. In the meantime, we're down to our last life and we only have 4 trash to collect. Unfortunately, there is no map in the game, so it's sometimes a case of wandering blindly and remembering where you haven't been for some time to collect the rubbish, and sometimes I like to leave the rubbish by the hut until the last, because sometimes it's handy to do that, and swimmers can appear quite near the hut, but not always right near it, so if a swimmer gets into danger, again you'll have to make a beeline in that general direction. From level 2, those hazards are multiplied, and so you'll find more swimmers and more turtles and more snakes, and it's completely at random where they appear. You can see last time we played it, this area was full of snakes, and now there are hardly any of them at all, but they will appear completely at random, as will the turtles, so sometimes the game will even give us a break. Our magic plant is almost at the top, but unfortunately we can also only clear that once that's off the screen, so we'll have to move off the screen and back on it again if we want to activate that plant. It's also sometimes a great tip to wander into the cabin before we even start, and that will give us enough calories to complete most of that level. When the purple flower has emerged, then that's the time to harvest it, and that means that we then fly super quick across the land of the level, but not across the water. So if the land is full of turtles, you could run straight headlong into one, and that means that it's a quick life over. We only have 3 bottles left on this level, so you can guess that something crazy will about to happen at any point, and you never know in this game. Someone can drown any moment, and we can leave the turtles behind, but where is those last few bottles? Our magic plant isn't yet quite complete, and we'll have to save that until the next level, but now let's very cautiously make our way through those waves and try to make our way to that last bottle. By pushing up and pressing that fire button, we can activate that magical plant, and I'm struggling to remember that on this particular playthrough. You can see swimmers are getting into trouble all over the place, and so it's not very easy. If we touch one of those swimmers who's perfectly fine, we'll die, and sometimes you can even rescue a fly out in this game if you time it perfectly. How I managed to get to level 5 is beyond me at this point, and there are also ants that take away our food that you need to roll into the water later on, and marshes and bogs and all that kind of thing, so this really has plenty on offer, and plenty of lethal things on offer where our boat can explode and we can sink. We gain extra lives at score checkpoints, and that's pretty handy. You can see the things which look like brown clumps of bush on the horizon are actually bogs, so if you wander into those you'll sink. So I have lots and lots of time and respect for this game, and looking at the scores, the current Lemon 64 score is 77%, the Zap 64 score is 94%, and Commodore Force awarded this 94%. For 1984, this has arcade quality, feel, graphics, polish and playability, and you can't take anything for granted. Even open water, these waves can still deplete us, and so this game has got lots on offer. We can play it as a man or a woman, a boy or a girl, and we've got food and energy to look after, as well as swimmers, as well as evading turtles and snakes, and maybe even more later on. So this is a very fun game for me. I remember playing this loads, and it's amazing what really is in this game. For its time and its generation, 1984, this was really a classic. With just one item left to find, we find ourselves without a ride, and so that's game over. And that means, unfortunately, we return back to that title screen. You can see our high score, 43,330. So thank you once again for joining me on another Lemon 64 play guide and review. Hope to see you playing this game. Thank you.